This is the new Toyota CHR, and it's a really interesting looking car and a complete departure from Toyota's boring designs of the past. To be fair, some modern Toyotas do look a little bit questionable, but this one, it really works. Now it starts from just under £21,000, but if you click up there to go to carwow.co.uk, you can compare offers from dealers and buy a price you're confident in. Now, one of the key features of this car's design are diamonds, and that theme continues on the inside. So there's diamond patterning here, there's diamond patterning on the speakers, on the seats, even on the air vents here, and on these switches. There's even diamonds up here. And here as well, there's just diamonds everywhere.
Diamonds are forever.
That's enough of that. Now, this car is pretty nice to sit in. On the whole, the materials feel decent enough quality, though some are a little bit on the cheap side. And I like this piano black effect here, but if you look closely, you'll see that it's rather scratched. Another problem with the design, maybe, is that the way this bit juts out does make the passenger space seem a little bit smaller than it should do. On the whole though, it's quite an interesting design in here. Some people won't like this stuck on iPad effect, but as standard on every model you do get an 8-inch touchscreen. So too is a reversing camera and cruise control. And it's pretty well equipped this, though if you want sat-nav you do have to upgrade to the mid-spec model. Now the infotainment system itself, it's alright. It's easy enough to navigate through menus. The problem is that the graphics are a little bit low res and it does take a while for screens to load or to input a destination on the sat-nav. Now if you click up there you can see my full in-depth video review of the infotainment system for the CHR. In terms of cubby spaces, they're all right as well. So the glove box is not massive, but it'll do. There's some decent storage under here, and you've got a 12-volt socket in there. There's some big cup holders there, which, oh, look at this. You can actually extend them if you've got a really tall latte. And the door bins, they're an okay size. Well, here in the front, in the back, completely different story, as I'll show you now. Now, it's not a deal breaker, but yeah, compared to rivals, there could be spaces here. Look, I mean, you just got this one little cup holder and that's about it. And speaking of rivals, yeah, they are bigger in the back than this car, though it's not terrible. It's livable. People over 6 foot will just about have enough headroom, and knee room is all right. And it's surprisingly okay, actually, with 3 in the back, because this bench seat is just so comfy. The only real issue I have is the limited foot space there because of the runners for the seats in front. The main problem, though, with the back of this car is, well, I'll just get my assistant to turn off the light and you'll see for yourself. It's all gone a bit dark, hasn't it? So with all this black plastic, the small windows, and we'll probably have to have the light back on, it just feels dark and dingy in here. It's like you're locked in Darth Vader's wardrobe, and kids won't like it. They won't get a good view out. So it's a bit of a shame really, because otherwise it's not too bad. Now the boot, it's a similar story. The capacity is, well, it's more like that of, say, something like a Volkswagen Golf rather than a rival such as the Seat Ateca. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's just not as big as it could be, and it's pretty much devoid of clever features. So there's no false floor to raise it up, so you have a bit of a lip to lift stuff across. Also, there are a few tethering points here and there, but there's no 12-volt socket if you want to plug in a device such as a Hoover to hoover out your boot. I'll just get this upholstery shelf out of the way as well so you can see another issue. I'll just hand that out. There we go. It's this, look. If I fold down the seats, because you haven't got that riseable false floor, you end up with a massive ridge. So you can't really load a heavy item in here, then push it straight to the back, which is a little bit annoying. Now, if you click up there, you can see some more detail on this car's practicality by watching my detailed practicality video. See how much stuff you can actually cram into this car's boot. See what it's like with 3 people in the back and how easy it is to fit a child seat. And before I finish up, I just want to show you this. One of the interesting features of this car are the rear door handles. So they're up there, but you kind of have to relearn how to open a car's door, because you don't do it like that because you get RSI. You have to kind of do it like that. And it's all just a bit odd.
It's clear the Toyota CHR is supposed to be interesting, but does this extend to how it drives?
Now it's clear that Toyota has created this little CHR to feel a little bit sporty for a small SUV, and indeed it does. So it goes around corners pretty well, it feels light and agile. It comes with lane departure warning because I just weaved across a white line and it just beeped at me there. And yeah, it's quite a light feeling car, and even though it handles pretty well, the suspension never feels firm. It still deals well with bumps. If there is a problem with this car's comfort though, it's that you do get quite a bit of wind noise, so you can hear it rushing past the window there. You also get quite a bit of tyre roar on rough surfaces as well. It's a bit of a shame really, because otherwise it's really comfortable, especially because these seats are absolutely blooming lovely. I can do miles and miles and miles in these without any backache at all. Now for those people who want to take their CHR off-road or just need a bit of extra grip, you can get it with all-wheel drive. In terms of engines, well, there's a hybrid, and that uses the same powertrain as in the Prius, and it's pretty good actually. Apparently, it can return 74 miles per gallon. This is the 1.2 litre turbo petrol, and it's nice and smooth, and it's got quite a decent amount of punch. 0 to 60 is just under 11 seconds. It revs freely, doesn't make too much noise, and Toyota says it's capable of 47 miles per gallon, and I'm looking at the computer and I'm getting 41, so I'm quite pleased about that. This one's got a manual gearbox, and it's quite a nice short throw on it, so it helps add to this car's sporty feel. One thing to note though is if you're expecting the full SUV experience, you don't really get it. You sit quite low when you compare it to something like a Peugeot 3008, which you can get for the same kind of money. And then there's the visibility. So I can't fault it here because you've got this little extra window, so no real blind spot there. But over your shoulder, those thick rear pillars, I mean, sometimes it's just a leap of faith when you're pulling out of junctions. That's not great at all. Now you can see for yourself by clicking up there to join me for the 360-degree passenger ride video.
There are some other problems with the CHR. Here's 5.
Tall people may find that when they go to get out the car, they, ow, hit their head on the protruding grab handle. That really hurt actually. You can't get the car with an armrest for the middle rear seat. It's a little bit odd that a supposedly modern car such as this has an old-fashioned digital clock like you'd find on a Casio watch. These perforations in the seat look kind of cool, but it's not going to be long before they're clogged up with food bits that your kids have spilt. This bit of trim on the steering wheel, which you actually have to touch, feels really flimsy. In fact, it moves around a little bit like a flappy paddle gear selector.
Thankfully, the CHR does have some cool features which help to make up for all this.
Speaking of Toyota, you get a 5-year warranty, which is better than you get on most cars. The hybrid version of this car has the most thermally efficient engine of any production vehicle. No, it's not actually this engine, so I don't know why I'm showing it you. This little ridge there is known as a vortex generator, and it helps swirl the air over the wing mirror to help improve the aerodynamics. You can personalise the car with a range of different exterior trim colours, including 6 colours for the wheel centre caps. Well, that was neatly done. The car features Toyota's latest auto park facility, which is now much more efficient than before because it can actually squeeze into very tight spaces. See? Now, if you click up there, you can get more information and compare offers on the new Toyota CHR. So then, what's my overall verdict on it? Should you avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it, or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, I reckon you should consider the CHR. It's a great looking, good to drive car. It's just that similarly priced rivals are much bigger inside. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it, and click up there to subscribe to our channel. Click down there for my infotainment video review, down there for the practicality, and up there for the 360-degree passenger drive video on this Toyota CHR. Speaking of which, did you spot the Easter egg in this video? It was the CHR airport baggage tag, which is for Chateauroux Airport, on the luggage.